Welcome to The First Page, our video series featuring Thomas C. Foster, author of How to Read Literature Like a Professor. With Professor Foster as our guide, discover that the first page, first paragraph, even sometimes the first sentence of a novel, is the key for what is to come. The opening provides up to 18 important clues to the rest of the novel. Things like style, tone, mood, narrative identity and attitude, theme, and point of view are all here. So watch carefully as Foster delves into the first page of such Harper Collins classroom favorites as To Kill a Mockingbird, Their Eyes Were Watching God, and The Bean Trees. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee.
One of the oddities of the novel is that so many of its examples press forward by looking backward. You can think of it as the after the catastrophe effect, since such novels are almost never comedies. The Great Gatsby would be such a novel, with Nick Carraway looking back over disastrous events. Or Lawrence Durrell's Justine, all those lives wrecked, all that mayhem. There's a second common element to these two books, and a great many like them. They have first-person narrators. This makes sense. A godlike, omniscient presence, or even a more limited third-person narrator, need not try to reassemble all the pieces of life or memory. After all, it was not his life that was ruined, her friends who were destroyed. But the stories need not be tragic. Looking backward at the outset can also be a useful device for imbuing a novel with mystery. Something has happened, we are told, not going to happen or could happen, but has happened. And from then on, we want to know what it was. We may see this device in actual mysteries, but it probably occurs more often in mainstream fiction where a touch of mystery, less whodunit than what was done, is desired. Such is the case with Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. There's so much story there, so much social importance to events, that we sometimes gloss over the opening, but we should pay attention. When he was nearly 13, my brother Jem got his arm badly broken at the elbow. When it healed and Jem's fears of never being able to play football were assuaged, he was seldom self-conscious about his injury. His left arm was somewhat shorter than the right. When he stood or walked, the back of his hand was at right angles to his body, his thumb parallel to his thigh. He couldn't have cared less so long as he could pass and punt. Why was his arm broken? How was it broken? And why does it matter? We want to know, of course, but this is a case of seriously delayed gratification. We have to wait until the very last pages, so long that we have in all likelihood lost memory of the passage. And when the arm is broken, it comes to us as both a surprise and the fulfillment of a promise. Lee, however, is not finished laying out her clues. With wonderful economy, she includes all the principles of the drama: Father Atticus Finch, their friend Dill, the Yule family, and the shadowy figure of Boo Radley, all in the first 3 paragraphs. The setting, loosely, is established by the first of their Finch ancestors coming up the Alabama River to this locale. Or perhaps mystery isn't even quite the word we want here. Maybe the correct metaphor is agricultural, that Lee is planting seeds of the novel to come, dropping names like corn kernels into the newly worked ground of her first page. Of those, the most important is the kernel she doesn't mention. There are 2 key, as yet unavailable facts about our narrator, unnamed here, but later to be called Scout. The first is that she's a female, around 9 at the time of the major event she mentions in the first line. The second, much more significant, is that she is no longer 9. Enough years, in her words, have passed so that she can bring a perspective to events that would have been entirely beyond her younger self. The fact will make all the difference in the world to this narrative. Quietly, it is there right away, to be reinforced by numerous time markers throughout the text. The remarkable thing about the revelation is the almost offhand ease with which Harper Lee plants it. That's what narrative masters do, provide information so subtly and simply that we may not even notice until it's needed.
For more information about the first page, please visit www.harperacademic.com.